Hello, this is Liran Hirschkorn and Mansoor Narazi. We wanted to do an update. There's been several new things that have launched on Amazon recently. And so we wanted to do an update, a very short and quick update so that it's valuable for you and not a ton of time. And Mansoor, thanks for joining me. Let's dive into it.
Great, thank you. We have the first update is vertical video. We have in sponsor brand capability of creating vertical video and running vertical video. As you can see here, the aspect ratio is 9:16. And there is the same process that we create sponsor brand video. That's the same process. When you upload the video, it's just you could upload the vertical video as well. Our team are seeing 2x increase in click-through rate. So it's a great thing. We have asked our managers to reach out to get these vertical videos from you so we could test it.
Yeah, and what I would say is Amazon is probably giving more visibility to these things because they see how well vertical video is working for shopping, right? On platforms like TikTok and Reels and how they take off. And so this is new, and Amazon probably is giving it an algorithmic push. So we suggest taking advantage of it. It doesn't mean necessarily better ACoS or not better ACoS. We've seen results good and bad with it. I think it depends very much on the video and product. But as far as more visibility, it's worth taking advantage of. So if you have those videos, I recommend getting them to us so we can run it. And if you don't have those videos, going on sites like Bilio or Join Brands, very easily can go on and pay, $60, $70 for a video from a creator and, get these done fast and cheap with user-generated content.
One thing I wish Amazon adds hopefully soon is the capability of saying, okay, run this vertical video only on mobile or website. Because I ran this for my own brand. I personally didn't like how it looked in website. Otherwise, in mobile is great, but in the website platform, I didn't like it. I felt like it's too small. So hopefully in the future, Amazon gives that option for us to run, or it optimized in a way that shows up more in mobile rather than desktop.
Yes, and Mansoor, I'm not sure if you have it added here, but while we're on the subject of video, you can also now upload videos on posts, and that's free.
Right.
And there is it. There it's just standard size, right? I believe it's not vertical.
It's a standard size.
Standard size. So that's another great opportunity to take advantage of with posts. My feeling for a long time, if you've paid attention to the content we're putting out, is that Amazon will allow vertical videos and that posts are going to be like Reels, and all this stuff was going to come to Amazon. So it's good to pay attention to what's happening outside of Amazon to kind of see what's coming and be prepared and ready for it.
Great point. So next update is triggered search term through product targeting. We know when we are targeting products with our campaigns, our ads could trigger for top of search and rest of the search. But so far, we couldn't figure out what those search terms are. Right now, Amazon has updated. When we get the search term reports, we could see what search terms are being triggered for the product targeting, which is a great update.
So Mansoor, I have a couple questions on this, and this literally I think just came out in the last few days.
Right.
Very new. A couple questions on this. Number one, so just so everyone understands clearly, this is when we're targeting an ASIN, and typically what we want when we're targeting an ASIN is we want that ad to show up on the ASIN page. But what's always happened is Amazon also takes related keywords to that ASIN and puts it in search also, which really means we don't really, at the end of the day, have control of placements really. Amazon's in charge. The question I have is, now that we have this, what if we negate that search term, let's say? Didn't hear that there's an opportunity to do that or not to do that. Do we know anything about that?
We don't know anything about a negation. And in my opinion, you got to let Amazon do what they are best and what they know about your product. I believe at the end of the day, when you give these to somehow give the optimization in terms of which placements Amazon to show your product, Amazon gives you good results. Yes, the downside is that you have less control on where your ads show up. I think there are upsides, downsides, and there are certain scenario cases that you want to be 100% in control and funnel it. Yes, in that case, you can negate it if they add it. At the moment, We don't have negation. The only thing that we have is that, of course, placement multiplier, that we know what's downside with that. And then you bring your bid down, you add the placement multiplier, for instance, for product detail page to show up there. Sometimes that placement doesn't get applied, so your
Right.
bid stays low and you don't get the placements at
Have
all.
we evaluated if these search terms are generally relevant? I
This
would
is
just
pretty new, like yesterday's.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we haven't investigated. It's a very, very
And so
new.
hopefully, considering that's part of search terms report, that should be in already in Data Owl, like available.
It should, yes, it should populate. We just need maybe to clean up a bit to show that where they are triggering.
Got it.
We have to check it out, but it should be there.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah. Next one, this is not a new feature. I just posted about this. We know there has been this brand impression share under advertising console, and it shows the share of your sponsored product and sponsored brands for the branded terms. There are a few things that I don't think we had that before. Maybe it is new, I'm not sure. The lost clicks and lost orders. It shows your search terms, and it shows for each search terms how many clicks and orders you are losing because your competitors showing up on top of the
Oh, I
search,
see.
and it's just only for sponsored product and sponsored brands. Few use cases for this. For instance, in this case, whatever this term is, they have to make sure. Seems like we are losing because we are not taking advantage, taking all the spots. So it's the results are either daily or weekly. So in this case, we have to make sure we are taking over that, because in a week we lost 74 orders to competitors, which on the top. Another thing actually would be good use cases. Maybe there's a way to test the cannibalization from here, right? If you lower the spend for these terms, later
Right.
on you come and you say, okay, I take off my ads from top of search, right? And these are exactly showing about all the metrics for the ad. What happened? Did I start losing any orders to my competitors or not? So for cannibalization in branded terms, I
Right.
think it could be a good test.
Right. It'd be great to kind of be able to pull this and track it, over
Right.
time in terms of it. So this is for sponsored brands, right?
And
And
product. We have for both
right,
of
we
them.
have
In this
and we have
case,
the
you
same
see
thing.
sponsor brands.
Right, and we have the same thing for sponsored products. So, and the way you think Amazon is sort of giving you the data is basically somebody searches a brand term, after that they click on a competitor or they buy a competitor product, and kind of
Yes.
that's data here.
Yes. They click from your branded terms, they click on that competitor, and it mentions only for top of search, right? There are no other
Oh,
placements, only for top of search and headline ad on top of search.
right,
They click on competitors and purchase.
right.
And usually Amazon is sometimes vague about explaining. There might be some people saying,
Right.
oh, no, it is different. But so far, from my understanding, this is clicking on
Yeah, I
competitors.
think this is a great way to tell how aggressive or not aggressive you should be on targeting your brand name. Maybe your brand name is so strong that even if you don't advertise, you're not going to lose. And I think one of the biggest things brands do need to do is really test that, the
Yes.
branded versus unbranded targeting, and then also even the products that you're showing up. If people really know your hero product, then maybe you don't need to advertise it, and you advertise a newer product or something that they're not aware of. So I would advise everybody to kind of talk to your manager, if you haven't already done it, about testing and looking at this data.
Right. And we communicated this to our managers as well. We will have another session with them to go over this and kind of talk through this to see what are the use cases and how we could start implementing to do some experiments.
Got it.
This one, which was one of my favorites, there is a new coupon dashboard. And in this new coupon dashboard, we could run coupons for different segments of brands, right? This is the same segment. If you look in the standard under the audience type, you have this brand. This is the same brand segments that we have in brand tailored promotion. So you could start running coupon codes for these segments: brand cart abandoners, at risk, potential, brand followers. Now you might be asking, so what is the difference? We could do the same with brand tailored promotion. The difference here is that in brand tailored promotion, as of now, you don't have control on what product to run the coupon code. It says all
Right.
the eligible products, right? So you don't
Right.
know which products are running. With coupon code, you can select any product that you want. Plus, actually on the side, I was checking brand tailored promotion. It is mentioning that in the future they are gonna add that for you to choose the
Mhm.
product. In that case, I don't know, then what's going to be the difference between brand tailored and coupon code? Because from both, you could run the coupons.
Right. I think with brand tailored promotions, maybe the coupon is showing in more places.
Right. And they
I
are
think possibly.
different. Yes, they show differently.
Right.
And the
Um,
placements are different.
But this is good. One thing I would highly encourage, and I've seen data around this from some brands, this subscribe and save coupon. If you're really focused on growth of the brand and adding new to brand customers, you should absolutely, first of all, have that 10-15% subscribe and save discount. And I would be aggressive with the initial coupon because this is your cost of acquisition. I was talking to a customer who's in the pet space. The cost per click is so high, right? Like, and they're selling their 1P, they're selling some products at $4, $7. So they have 40% conversion on a keyword, but the ACoS is 120%, right? But
Right.
overall, they're bringing in new to brand customers and they're focused on growth. And so they had like a 15%, subscribe and save coupon. I'm like, make it 25. And then you need to track, right? Two things. Are your subscribe and save audiences increasing? And are your branded keywords increasing, right? People are ordering from you and is it growing? Because it's only on the first order.
Well, I'll
Uh,
ask you a question later on. Actually, I was
yeah,
checking this for my new brand, which is
yes.
supplement. What if, let's say, I put 25, 30% discount? Is it possible for customer just to subscribe to get the coupon code and then cancel it?
Well, it doesn't work exactly like that. When somebody
Right.
subscribes and they're subscribing and that means they're putting in an order. What it also means is that they're not getting the product right away. It goes onto their next cycle of when subscribe and save ships to them, right?
Right.
So now they're on subscribe and save. Now, what they can do is they could set up subscribe and save and do one order every 6 months. And then once they get that product, they can just go back into subscribe and save and cancel. So essentially, you can do this on every order, whatever, but that's
Right.
not how most people operate. Most people, when they go to subscribe and save, they will set it on a schedule they want, and they'll keep it until they decide they're not using it as much or whatever, and they'll change the schedule or they'll cancel it.
Right.
So I think the risk of those people who might just be using it as a one-time purchase, fine,
Got
it's
it. Yeah.
a small percentage.
Makes sense. And actually, this reorder coupon also is good.
Yes,
This is for audiences that they have ordered from your
right,
product, from your brand for that product. Now it is time for them to reorder. So it's kind of getting to the point that they have to reorder, but they haven't. It
right.
is targeting those
It,
audiences, which is pretty
right.
good.
And that's great for somebody who's not on subscribe and save and they bought your, vitamin C once. And this is a little bit of a push to get them to seeing that coupon to get them to reorder. Again, I think you should utilize them, especially if you're in a consumable type product, or maybe you're in clothing, and somebody bought the black dress from you and now they're gonna buy the red dress or whatever, right? Like, and they're gonna order again.
Another
So,
addition here is in brand tailored promotion, you have only 90 days cart vendors.
right.
Here, I notice you have 7 days as well. It could be, you got to test, right? There might be this argument that people add to cart, but still they want to purchase. Maybe I don't want to run coupon code. So it's something that you have to understand about the purchase behavior
So yeah,
of
but
your
when you're
product.
targeting 90 days, the 7 days will be included there, right?
Yes.
Right. So
So there are people that recently have added. If you want to target them, you could target them.
right, you could target specifically just those people.
Just those people.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe the strategy would be for the people within 7 days, there maybe even give a higher percent because like it's a hotter sale. Like the
Right.
person was just looking at it, right? So maybe even give them more incentive. On the 90 days, they looked at it 60, 70 days ago, so it's like maybe they're not as interested. So,
No, my
maybe
argument was that since they are 7 days, there might be higher potential of them purchasing even if they don't see the coupon code. For me, it
correct.
happens, right? I
But
add to
the
cart in a few
but
days,
the
I
issue
purchase.
is right, but the issue is that this is not excluding the 7 days, it's including. So that means if you're targeting the 90 days, you'll have the 7 days too. And if
Right.
you're targeting the 7 days, you'll
Oh,
have the
that's a good point. That's a good point.
but maybe strategically you use the coupon approach you do is different, maybe or like you said, Mansoor, maybe the 7 days you give a smaller coupon because they were just interested in the product, and then 90 days to bring them back, you do a higher coupon,
Higher
right? You
coupon.
kind of make the argument both ways, but there
Right.
is strategy there in terms of testing what works. Again, if you're in a high margin supplement product, we have a client that does 30% because they have the margin to do that, and it's supplement to bring those cart abandoners back in. They want the repeat orders. If you're in a product that's not like that, that's a one-time purchase, maybe do 10%.
Next is new keyword targeting. We have two new keyword targeting for sponsored product. Keywords related to your brand and keywords related to your landing page. I personally started testing for one account. I don't have the results, but at the end of the day, I would say you are giving just 100% control to Amazon on whatever they want to target. It could be a good test, in my opinion, with lower bid, but I won't go really aggressive on this because I don't know what Amazon is
Kind of like
doing
a
for my
harvest, kind of think of it like an auto campaign, right? I mean, it's kind of
right.
like
It could
harvesting.
be harvesting, exactly. It could be auto or harvesting, and you see what the search terms are. Later on, you
And this
target
this is
them.
for sponsored brands,
Sponsor brands.
right?
Yes, sponsor
Where
brand
where where you actually don't have auto campaigns, right? So it's kind of like the auto campaign for sponsored
for the
brand
sponsor
that,
brands.
that Amazon kind of brought
Yeah,
out.
that's a great way actually to put it. Sponsor brand auto campaigns for sponsor brands.
Right. Make a good LinkedIn post, Mansoor. Auto campaigns launched for sponsored brands, almost. Okay.
Almost.
Okay, let's
And this is brand visibility. What we notice in some categories, it's not happening in all the categories, is that what Amazon is that makes your brand visible. And the way it is happening right now, let me just zoom in more, is if you have your brand name at the beginning of the title, and it is 100% aligning with, I think it should be aligning with the store name. So your brand name, your trademark, they're exactly the same here. Then Amazon kind of makes it bold and separated, shows like what you are seeing here. Because I saw few brands that they had the brand name, but the brand name
doesn't
wasn't
match.
exactly, yeah, for instance, Mansoor Co. is the brand name in the store, but Mansoor as a
Right,
brand name was at the beginning. So Amazon didn't kind of
right,
make this
right.
distinction
That makes
here.
sense. Are we seeing this across the board or only in certain categories?
Certain categories. Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
That is it for today.
Great. Okay, these are great updates. Please let us know if you have any feedback, if you have any questions on any new things that have come out. Maybe we can even put a form or something out for like any feedback or any future content that you want to see. And then we're going to send you a separate video as well related to updates in our analytics tool that we created called Data Owl. So hopefully you'll watch that video as well. We appreciate working with you. And we look forward to sharing more of these types of videos with you as well. Thank you, Mansoor.
Thank you.